What's the deal, y'all? What's up, everybody? So, as you know, Sunday's unfiltered, so you can unmute your mics and you can open up your cameras if you want. But if you do, you will be on for the rest of the YouTubes. See what we got going on here. So a lot of news over the weekend, right? You got Russia up in the ante in Ukraine. You have Israel on the brink of on the verge of going into Gaza. You had China send a fleet to the Mediterranean Sea, to the Middle East, to match, kind of answer to what the US is doing. So a lot of stuff going on in the world today. Maybe the markets haven't really absorbed everything that's going on because we're kind of pulling back, but it's very interesting. Look at this weekly. Last week we closed so bull. We're not just gonna start dropping now. We're gonna, at some point this weekly will flip, and at some point we will, especially with the tensions increasing. So like, even if you're in any positions anywhere here, you should be okay up until the weekly flip. Unless the weekly never flips and closes bearish, at which point you should still be okay, because either this week or flips, or next week is going to break the high of this current week to grab some orders from above here. Market doesn't just, yeah, but this is a good area to grab orders, right? We broke the previous daily high. Also, if you notice, the daily last week on Friday closed closed above the daily range, right? So we have room. See, it closed above all these areas where it could not close above. Wait. You know, what the fuck? There we go. Yeah, you see, couldn't close above, couldn't close above, couldn't close above. Now that we closed above, we're probably going to fill this wick up to 2000. I think 2000, maybe 2010 should not be an issue for us this week, but we're going to have to flip. A lot depends on the external catalysts driving, you know, world economies. Right now, the biggest factors are wars breaking out all over the place. Those are our catalysts. We've pushed to test all-time highs. Yeah, every time we close above 1963, that's a good point. Well, we drive up at least every time we get a closure. So like, if we clear this out, right? Well, last time, this was on the daily, right? We closed above, drove up. This one just filled the range up to here, closed above, drove up. See, all the time we respected here, drove up. So this is just the most recent movements, but we can go back and it's pretty much the same story across the board here. Let's kind of zoom in and see what we want to concentrate on. And if you notice, well, this is the daily, but look what we're mirroring, right? We don't really. Okay, so let's have an understanding of what's going on. So, right, we have a resistance here, and we have a support area here, right? We have this kind of range, then we have this range below it. You got to understand that these ranges right here, they're formed when the overall motion of the market is down, right? This isn't the move we're mirroring right now, right? This right here. What's going on right now is, see why we're in this range? We're in this range not because we came down from here, but because we came up from here, which means we're most likely mirroring this move that's happening. So if we understand that, then let's base our levels on this and not on this. Okay? Because on the move up, right, we can go back to the 4, right? This is the move on the 4. We can go to the hourly, right? And this is the move here on the hourly, coming up in our range. 11. How are you, beautiful? Hair smells good. It must have been a good bath, huh? You want to say hi to everybody? No? You want to just say hi? Alright, well, I love you. I'm going to be over this soon, okay? She don't want to say hi to nobody. Alright, so back on track. If we understand that on the hourly now, this is the move up, and we can see where our range is. Or if we understand that we're bullish and where can we find support last time we came up. So if we just came up and tapped this area on Friday, and this is price coming down right now, look where it's been finding support. So this is probably where we can look for buys based on what's happened previously in the market. Now, if this is the area we can look at for buys, then you also have to have an understanding of the fact that if we come down, in order for us to come down here, right, the market, well, in order for us to get here, the market has to come down, right? So we might look for sells to that area and understand what part of the range, what part of the move we're playing, right? But overall, we want this push up and retest the highs and come back to at least 2,000. So let's see what we can get here. 30 look like here. Yeah, around August 20th. Okay. Okay, so we have our most recent ranges, right? Which would be right here. Right, we got our most recent ranges from 72 to 83. We have the past range, the overall range from 83 all the way down to 66.3 here. And how I would read this is if we have the understanding, or we pretty much know, we don't know anything. I don't want to say we know. This kind of sounds arrogant, but we have an understanding that the market needs to reject off this area, because in the past that's what it's done, and this is what we're doing, study of historical price data, right? We're just trying to play the market based on what is done previously. And if it's previously rejected off of here, now that we've closed above this, below this most recent, kind of a range 2 breakout too. You have your range 1, range 2, anything below here can be a breakout. So what you want to see here is you want to see the candles wick back up into these areas, but keep closing below here. So now we can come down to the 15, the 5. All right. Let's see. So the 15 has now closed, has just closed bullish here, but it closed below this area, right? So what you would look for is a top wick to the top of the range, to the, let's see, historically, where do we come up before we come down? Let's all the way back. This is annoying when you gotta scroll back. Yeah, so if you can now get these top wicks to this area, to maybe 73.9, 74 flat, it would not be a bad sell, understanding the fact that eventually you're going to have to come down. But you want to see the 15, the 30 start closing below 72.48. If we see an indication that we are coming down to tap 66 to come up, we can take sells to 66. And if it drives further, we'll be in really good shape for runners. But overall, once we're at 66 here, I want to look for buys. And where would our stops be in that case? Oof. You see, even back then, this is where we came up to. So where can we look for buys? Yeah, stops here would probably be around here. It's recent. Okay, so the 15's coming up here. You got about 12 minutes left in this 15. What we're going to do is we're going to see how the 30 closes, and if we can get the 30 to stay below 72.5, 72.48 here, we're going to look for some sells. But if it closes back in range, it's kind of tough right now at this point, because it's tough for me to take buys even with a closure back in range, because I figure the next 4 hour will make a top wick and come down. We might take sells coming down from like 75, 76 areas. But let's see how this closes first. This isn't bad though. I think today flips. Buy, 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 buy. I really want to be part of this flip. I want to be part of the ride up to the flip, the 100 pips up. So I want to see if we can get an indication of a rejection here back at this area. 30 closing back in range, 15 back in range, holding above, wicks down, holding above here, and then break the lows, drive up. Everybody got that? Perfect.
Hey Rich, how are you?
Dude? What's up, man? How are you? Good.
Good.
Well, I'm already been hit. I break that low here. But I'd rather see the 30 close, not just the 15 here. What up, YouTube gang? Is anybody in Don's positions over the weekend?
No, I didn't take.
I love you too. Hold on, I don't think they see it yet. It's delayed. How many people are in here right now? On the YouTubes? I don't know, 8, 9, 10, 12. And in the Zoom. Love you. My kids think I'm famous. It's crazy. Oof. Is this the rejection? The thing is, we're really deep into the 4-hour candle here, right? We got 35 minutes in the 4-hour, and the first thing it did for the last 2 hours, last couple hours since market opened, was create this massive bottom wick. We can flip here in the last 30 minutes. It's possible, but is it likely? I don't know. So I want to see an indication that we are going to hold support and head up. But if we get down to 66, I'm looking at off the rip entries right now. Depends how it comes down there. $30 will be key here. Yeah, 5 held, came back into the 5 range. Is it going to come back into the higher time frame range is the key. We closed above on the daily. I just can't imagine this just driving back in range after last week's drive here. You see what it did on the weekly too, right? It did come back to this area, to 66. You see, last time it drove up. Let's see where as it closed above the range. Well, the candle that drove up. Because this is the candle that just closed this above the range as well. This is the highs I would like to retest, 2010 roughly. I also understand, right? The weekly doesn't need to flip today. Look at the weekly. We might come down for first couple of days here. The thing is, we've started off so aggressively bearish right off the rip right now on a Sunday that I think the same way we started is the same way we're going to drive up. Just as fast as it's cleared orders coming down, it's going to clear these orders just as fast coming up. 30 closer in a few minutes. Thirty's respecting for now. Let's see. A level here. Let's see. Alright, if we close like this in 1 minute, I'm going to look for a top wick on the opening of the next 30 to 73.9, and we're going to look for some sells. Just going to have to do that at the beginning of the candle, because here's the thing. We broke the previous 15 yet. We're going to have to break this 30, come up without making a bottom wick first, and then we'll look for some sells. Oh, you guys know the stretch. The anticipationary stretch. If we make a bottom wick and start breaking highs here, we're gonna hold up to the 4-hour close. Let's see. Interesting. Line at least. That it? Hi, beautiful. We broke the high here, but wanted a bit higher. This might be the next hour move, right? We might just hold in this area for the hourly if it doesn't just break down here. Ideally, I was looking for 74 to get tapped here before we break down, but if it, we don't break down now, we'll wait on the hourly to tap 74. As long as we still close below 72.5. Kind of forced to wait a little here. Right, because we also understand market shouldn't just, the 4 hour is going to close here, right? It's going to close below all the ranges, right? It's not at a support. We understand that it's going to need to grab some orders to start coming up. So it's going to need to do that. it'll most likely fill the wick to 1970, grab orders below it, and then come up. So the most optimal entry for us, though, is if it comes up to 73.96, where it typically taps before coming back into this range. This way, by the time we flip, we're already 20 pips in profit. And then the rest is house money, whether we drive down or not. But it needs to get up there. And if it doesn't get up there in this 30-minute, maybe in the next hourly candle. As long as this hourly stays below 1972.415, right? As long as we can close like this, right? We'll look for a top wick on the next candle and fill the range. But you want it to tap right there. Doesn't look like it's going to happen on this 30. Let's see. Let's hope it holds for the next hourly. You got that flip. We want to play this flip from up here to here, but you already got it. That's 16. That's 15 pips. Yeah, we would have taken sells if it tapped 73.98. It's okay. It's okay. There's more opportunities on the hourly here. We're going to wait for this 4-hour to close here. As long as the hourly is going to stay below 72. Same idea. Top wick to 73.98 and look to come down. The key with this entry here is because you're going to be selling into a support, so you want to have enough of an advantage point that when you're flipping while you're selling into a support, that it's house money after that. Idea was right, we just didn't tap our level. Now let's see if it actually closes below here. It could close like this, like this. We have a lot of ways to play this. There's quite a few ways we can play this. But I'm kind of forced to wait right now. It might just drive down to that area. Anyone in any positions? Doesn't necessarily have to be gold.
Yes, I take a position.
Where you're gonna sell?
From sell 1973.21. When I take that high, I take with him sell.
As soon as it broke the highs, as soon as it broke the previous 30.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Good idea. It also, that was the first thing that it did after opening of the candle. So you're expecting still a bottom wick here, right? So, good.
Yeah, this way I secure my position. If it is not drive now, so it will take to wait another candle to take another high. Maybe after that it will go down. I don't know. I
I
expect
think your
that.
stops will be good here. If it breaks that previous 30 low, the current hourly low, you should be good to drive down to the bottom of the range.
Yes.
I just don't have an entry here. You also want bottom wick on this 15. Then again, middle of the 30, liquidity already grabbed. You might not be too concerned with a bottom wick here. Should be good. Yeah, it should pop down here. Solid range. And not knowing the 15 closed like that, but it should still have enough volume. Yeah. There goes.
It was full.
Goes full? Really, you're gonna get to 66 here. I was just looking for an entry. Had a really nice session private session last Sunday. We had a 70 pip runner. You guys remember? It should come down to 66. Volume kicking in. Oof. Hey, I knew it. I knew you closed too soon.
Bro, every day it's happening with me like that. Every day. I don't know this. I have this problem, bro. I try to fix it, but I didn't get the solution, you know? I have this
Yeah.
problem. If after 15 pips, 10 pips, I close half. So
Yeah, let it rock. Let it rock. Let's see which plays play out, which don't. But yeah, build some confidence. I don't know. I was thinking of entering here too. I have this principle thing. Like if I don't get my optimal level touched, I stay away from it. I'm really questioning the position, but guess understanding that we're gonna come down here anyway, you know, before we get any buys, you could take sells to there, but this thing just fully broke down. What's up? Yeah, I'm gonna come to you soon. Love you. Ooh. Might see a reaction here. Break the lows here. Was that it? Fuck. It came up too quickly. I want to take a buy on the rebreak of the lows here. That's what I want to do. And we're going to keep tight stops at 60, so maybe a 50 pip stop. My issue is I don't think we're going to come back here right now. We just tapped this area. This is where I want buys. We're going to have to come down lower. Less 10 of this 4 hour, huh? Is that okay? Yeah, I'm gonna wait on this close. Might come down more, but you would have smacked like 70 pips here. Not too bad a play. After all this bearish momentum, is it just likely to start driving up immediately? Like when it does drive up, it'll start driving up fast, but is it going to drive up immediately here? So let's see if we can get a close with a bottom wick, if we can kind of pull back up into here. sucks. Because these are clean ranges to play, and you want to play them right on the 4-hour candle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, last 5 minutes of this 4-hour. Let's see if we can pull back a little. Let's see if we can even leave a bottom wick. Minutes. We've been patient enough to wait all this time. 1 minute here on the 4 hour. Seconds here. Like to close below, it's closing right at it. Wow. Come up a little higher. If we can re-break the highs here, I'll look for a sell. But if it's just going to continue down here, I just, nothing for me. Our chat, nothing for me here. Close to the support, so if anything, we're going to sell to a support, right? Right. It taps because these are levels it's historically driven from. No, I didn't just put them up there for fun, so. Right, it taps here, we're taking a sell. It taps here, we're taking a sell. Just never got there. This top wick, we would have never seen it anyway. It happened in a split second on the floor. Now you're breaking a low of an hourly candle that stayed at a support, right? So you might be looking for a buy to take it up to just the top of this candle. You have to break the hourly and show some kind of indication on the 5 that it's coming back in range. Previously we rejected here. Across the board, we tap down line. Also, tend to reject here across the board, coming down. Didn't quite get there. Never broke the low, did it? No, never broke. Okay, so if this 5 can come up now, break this previous 5 high before driving down, we might have positions. Alright, or not. Soon. Sorry, gang. Gotta fidget with the charts because, I don't know, I just like running through them. Sometimes you see something that you didn't see before. I don't know, soon. Soon. It's a buy zone, yes, but not the way we've come down here, right? The buy would have been the initial tap. Now that you've tapped it, and we're staying below here. Let's see. 5 minutes closes in less than a minute. See how we open. Edit. Some stuff here because at any moment this can flip and just drive down, right? So that's why it's tough for buys, but it's tough for sells because we've already formed a bottom wick on this hourly candle, right? We've grabbed some orders, right? And we've tapped it once, twice, so we could definitely continue heading up. Time frames start telling different stories. Oof. Tapped it, and we're on the 4 hour, right? I'm gonna take a sell right here. Right, this is where we tend to come down from. If we come up, I'm realizing that I have the option to play with some pineapples. Whoops. All right, if we start closing bullish on the hourly, if it's a strong rejection and it rejects strongly on the hourly, we start coming up, then we'll take a closure on the hourly. But I'm expecting us to grab more orders below this 4 hour for it to drive, and the 4 hour never broke the lows. So why do we just drive down so hard if we're gonna come straight up, right? So I'm expecting some drawdown, but I'm also expecting the 4 hour to eventually break the lows. Right. Right. Flip of the candle. Once the hourly flips, that'll be our break even, right? The hourly flip is the break even, and if you want, you can close partials. All right, here we go. So now I'm break even, and I closed 70% of my position here at 14 pips. Okay, we got what we waited for. Now risk is off the table. Now, if it continues to drive, I don't know if it will, but it might be a good idea to take some more risk off the table here once you break the previous 4, because that's your catalyst to grab orders and come up, right? But we wanted this flip. This is the reason we waited specifically for this area, 67.61, because that's where it rejects to come down, right? So very calm. Just take what the market gives you. You don't have to wish for more. You don't have to fucking, right? You don't have to, it's not magic. This isn't unicorn urine, right? This is liquidity. This is volume. No magic here. You take your little piece, wait for where you're comfortable, and take your W. Yeah, I closed 70% at 13 pips. 14, almost 14. But honestly, I would expect the lows here to break before the 4 hour starts its initial push up. But you might still see a break of the highs and then a break of the lows. But if the 4 hour is to push up, it's gonna have to like do a kind of a U-turn off this bearish highway. It doesn't tend to just drive straight opposite the other way. But I got a runner here, right? A quarter of my position, a little more. Let's see, we're about 20 pips here. What I might do, I might just close it once we break the lows. I'll see. I'll see. What's that gonna be? The break of the lows is 30 pips. Um, you know what? No, I'm gonna make our TP. Let's see. Whoa. Sorry, gang. I never adjusted TP on. So this is what I'm gonna make it. TP is gonna be about 65 if we don't go, because a majority of my position is closed. So it's house money. If we can come down here, great. It'll be 65 on the remainder. If not, we'll re-break the 4-hour highs, and then we'll re-break the lows once again later on. It'll play a funny game here. Oh, shoot. My break even wasn't on my broker. It was still at the stops. I closed partials, but I didn't move my break even. That would have sucked. Let's see if we can actually run while we're on stream. But that's 2 Sundays in a row. No bottom wick on that 5. Yeah, I'm not too worried about the 5 based on the higher time frame, but it might play a role here. I'll let you know once it takes me out, if it does. Let's see if we can stay below here, because look, every candle's been wicking up and staying below here. Staying below 6634. But this is it. It's house money. You guys shouldn't really care at this point, right? When there's no risk on the table, it's just really how much you want to take off the table, how much will make you comfortable for spending a couple hours here, and just go to sleep if it comes down, if it re-breaks the lows. If it re-breaks the highs, I mean, we got a pretty decent stop, right? It was the top of this we pretty much a wick entry. Look at that, right? So if it breaks that high, it's gonna ride further up, so, right? We got almost as optimal as you can get on that little flip. Almost. I'll let you know when it takes me out. I'm less than a pip away. That's it. I'm out. It just took me out. On the broker, it took me out. I'm not in here anymore. If it flips now,
I'm still.
You're still in? I'll watch you survive. That'll be hilarious. It literally, seen that little jump? It did that on the broker. Went boop, boop. Took me out. But I'm content. I got what I needed. You know what I mean? And you're at a really strong rejection area historically. Remember, this is why we marked off this level. So now if it starts respecting this, let's say on the hourly, I don't think the 4-hour will drive quite yet. I think the 4-hour will still need to roam around this area, grab more orders, and wait for the next catalyst, more volume. And then you're going to see us retest 72 most likely for a London session as the volume starts coming in pre-London. This 4-hour will close bullish here, right? And you look for bottom wicks on the next 4-hour to roughly 66.64 to continue up. And at that point, you'll have plenty of range established on the 1-hour, on the 30 over the course of the next 3 to 4 hours, right? So, but take what the market gives you and run.
Take me out.
To go out. Yeah, I mean, it might not break the highs here, but we didn't have, right? The spread took me out. We didn't have an entry above the previous highs. Watch it just run. That's a pretty quick session, chat. I'm not gonna take any more positions here. I honestly, I really want to see, because we've tapped the areas I've marked off. Now I got to do a new breakdown, and we'll probably, if it's more positions, it'll be after 10 p.m. on a Sunday. Well, for me. Tomorrow, though, Monday morning, will be a great stream. How much did you get there? How much did you see? Or did you close anything?
Yes.
Did you close anything in that trade?
Yeah, I close because I put stop loss and entry. Yeah.
Yeah, but did
Break
you close
even.
any partials?
Yes, I close. You know, my target, if more than 10 pips, I secure. You know.
All right.
because I don't know what's happening. Sometime I put running, but most of the time I close more after 10 pips, put some secure, bro.
Yeah. Let's get a bag. Take your money. Don't look to get rich today, tonight, on the next trade, next few
Exactly,
trades.
bro.
It's just one day, you're gonna be like, oh, I didn't have this much money before. And then, like, as the account grows and the trades get bigger, like your expectation of you're always gonna exceed your expectations because your expectations should be at like $10, $100, and then eventually you raise your lots as the account grows, and it's like expectation is $1,000. It's a massive jump. Like,
Yeah.
damn,
I want to
expectations are like 5,000, and it's like,
ask you,
guys,
Wix,
yeah,
there is a limit. After that limit, you will change. I
yeah.
want
What's
to
that?
ask you, Wix, there is like a limit. After that limit, you will change your loot or something, or how you are dealing with this, with
What do
the
you mean?
loot,
With the lot
loot
sizes?
sizing.
How do I change?
Y-
How do I change them?
Yes, yes.
I'm gonna wait till next year and probably raise them 2024. Probably
Okay.
just double them. I want to see year over year growth, right? It doesn't matter what the balance is, like, because people are like, oh, just do it according to your balance, right? So you're now you've grown your account. Let's say you're trading at 10 lots or at one. Let's say you're trading at one lot, just for round numbers, or let's say 10 lots at $100,000, right? And now you got into $200,000 within the span of 3 months,
Okay.
right? You you can change based on your balance now that your balance went up, but has your trading mentality and understanding of your balance and all the emotions that come with has all that caught up in the span of 3 months? No, I think you need to see like year over year growth, right? And if you can spend a year at that lot size and stay profitable, right? Because what's going to happen is you're going to get to 200,000, raise your loss to 20, and then you're going to take a big loss, and now you need to go up your lots even more in order just to get back to where you were. You have to risk more. So I would give it, not, I wouldn't just change lots based on your balance. I would just give it year over year growth. And as if you've seen year over year growth, then change it for next year. Up it for the entire year. Don't do a drastic change. I might double them, depending on what the year brings, depending on how I close off year over year profit, right? But don't just raise lots once you've gotten to another balance. Spend some time adjusting to that higher balance, right? Because your mentality, your psyche hasn't really adjusted to the higher balance. Only the numbers on the screen have.
Yeah,
So yeah,
exactly.
I would just give it a year, like every like new year, try like 2024. If you've done well this whole year, if you spent this whole year profitable, raise them for next year. See how 2024 goes. If you're kind of like not as profitable, drop them a little, right? If you're just play with it, but you don't have to stick to that, but give it a lot of time. Give it a lot of time on one lot size.
Thanks,
What's
bro.
were no worries. Where I'm you in the trade over the weekend with Don? No, no. I was in a different trade over the weekend. I was break even. I had entries at like 74.5 or 71.5. Look, yeah, I had entries at 71.5, and it drove down. It hit my entries. I had break evens before the weekend. It's weird. A lot of times I'm in the same positions as Don, but like the last two I wasn't in. I still think overall his idea is right. It just timing of the weekend, and we have to do this pullback here before the drive up. Now, drive up we will, right? It's just where are we gonna bottom out? Last week was a lot of volume. We might spend this week bearish in order to continue up on the monthly. It can all happen, but I just highly doubt that we're gonna spend a week bearish because we might spend a day bearish. That's what I think, or just holding, maybe closing doji. Overall, we should be able to drive up with everything that's going on in the world. And 66 here would be a great area to take us back up. At least to retest the highs, but overall, I think 2000, 2010 should not be an issue by the end of the week. Anyway, gang, I hope showing up to Wix's table is worth your money, worth your time. I hope you guys are picking up on different nuances, breakdowns, candle readings. Sound like Miss Cleo. Candle, get your free candle reading. Call me now for your free reading.
I had a quick question before you head off, Wix. You said you entered on 71. I was trying to see like where you entered on the chart.
So I was looking for an entry before weekend close, and I entered on volume, expecting us to even gap up to like 2010 over the weekend. So if we go to Friday.
Because I had entries around. Entries. I had entry on Friday. Actually, Friday was actually my best trading day. Like my entire career. Like I had an entry at 78.4. So I was trying to figure out when you entered at 71.
So I entered into right here. Hold on. Not on the wick down. No, I wasn't like that. I didn't enter on there. I entered here as the market is driving up here. So I had an understanding that if we're gonna sell at some point, historically, I showed you earlier, right? When I did the breakdown, we come down to here, we tap this. So I figured if I can take buys towards at least here, right? Because then I know the market's really bullish. We're driving up. The next area of resistance is 80. We had it marked off differently. I think it was 86 or 87. I think it was like this. But now it's established some new levels. Either way, it was marked off, I think, at 86, 87. But as we're driving up there, and the next area of resistance was 73.98 or 74 area flat. That's what I had marked off last week, 74 flat. I figured with massive volume, I can just take advantage. If we don't drive and we reject, right, then fine. I will reject off of here, and I just take advantage of this area, right? Just this top wick, whatever it'll be. That would have been, see, 30 pips, 25 pips. And I'll be honest with you, I entered that with no stops in mind. I entered it, and as we started driving up, I just put stops to break even, and that was it.
Okay.
I was paying attention to it and just watching how this is gonna play here because.
So this, I'm trying to think. This wasn't the Thursday trade, right?
No, it wasn't the trade that we had on stream. No.
Okay.
Separate of the trade we had on stream. It's the one on stream we had also was around that area. I think it was that one was at 74 or something like that.
74. Okay, yeah. Because the funny thing was, like, that was the one I didn't re-enter because I didn't want to FOMO back in. I woke up the next morning
and it drove.
And I saw like Don
top of the range. Yeah.
Well, the thing was, I saw the exact same setup, and I was like, Don's not streaming yet, and I just entered the position. I just rode it all the way up, and then, yeah, I was like, man, this is crazy.
It was a perfect day to stream too. I told him we're gonna get this swig, this drive up. We spoke on Thursday and on Friday morning when he was late to it.
Yeah.
I think he was expecting the retest of the highs at least to 2000.
Didn't it get? I thought it got pretty close to tapping 2000, right? Or what did it tap?
Once it tapped here, he's expecting.
Oh, 1997.
But he had entries. Where do you have entries here? 91.
I think he had entries around 91, and then I think he had buy stops around 94. Because I remember
this is a good entry, right? But with everything you're expecting, I mean, what did he see there? He saw about 67 pips.
Yeah, I saw when we got close to like 96. Or no, when did I close out?
I
closed
didn't
out
quite get to where
96.
he was expecting. I think the expectation was 2000. Didn't quite get there. I think he would have been break even if this went a little higher. This got to 97. If we got to 2000, I think he would have been a break even.
Yeah, I saw it start to stall out around 96, and I just closed both positions I had. around there.
You saw here, the market doesn't always quite get to exactly where you want it, right? In this case, it got to our wick and we were able to play that small little rejection that we expected. But up here, it didn't quite get there. You see it topped out at 73.17 or .2, and when we wanted it 73.9. If it topped out there, so it's exactly what we expect, and we take advantage of it, but it doesn't always do that. The thing is, we're playing probabilities, and if it does that 80-90% of the time that we're involved, then you're kind of playing the probability game, not just, not just everything that's happening at the moment, the way the candles are jumping up, down, parabolic movements.
Gotcha.
The 30 just closed here. So we closed above here, right? We're respecting this area. We might get a bullish hourly close. It still doesn't mean that we're gonna start riding up here. We might just get a pause or a break in this area before it kind of starts trickling down. Because, right, what happens a lot is you'll trickle down to drive up, or you'll drive down, or you'll trickle up to drive down, but those trickles on the smaller time frame happen as part of a higher time frame drive, right? So what happened, look, you now drove down here on the hourly, you've reached kind of the hourly support, and what'll happen is you'll trickle down here on the smaller time frame, right? Now the trickle down begins. It's not a straight drive. On the hourly, it'll eventually be a drive, but you're not really driving. You're kind of, market's doing this, right? And then as it gets here, then you'll see it, right? Then you'll see it all of a sudden just pop, right? And you're like, what the hell? It just drove down a lot on the 4 hour, on the hourly, yeah. But once it's reached its trickle down phase, there's a high chance that once it reaches a support, the drive up will begin. You'll see this. You'll see a strong drive, at least to the next resistance. But on the higher time frame, it'll look like a strong bearish candle, right? But these candles drove, right? They drove immediately, or they drove right at the end of it. These candles, if they start doing this, the drive up will be that strong. As long as the higher time, you see the higher time frame respected support here. We didn't close below it. So we might still close below it on the small time frame. We might still reach 60 areas, right, over the next few hours. But if it trickles down like that, then your drive up will be very, very strong. It'll be really strong bullish push.
So would you just be looking for this next 4 hour close, or?
I'm gonna look for this 4 hour close at 1 a.m. I think that's your best bet, because you're entering into a lower volume time, right? You really want the high volume drive. So if we end up trickling down and kind of ranging in this area between 60 and 66, as you start closing back up in range, because what you've just done, you've respected 66. So now any closure below it and coming and closing back up above it is a fake out, right? So if you're going to close on the hourly, knowing right now that you respected support on the hourly, if you end up closing below it, right? Now this hourly, let's say, closes bullish, then the next hourly closes and ends up doing something like this, right? Closes below it. That's your 11, it's your 10 to 11 p.m. candle, right? Then you have your 11 to 12, right? And the 12 to 1 closes, and the 12 to 1 rejects off of here and closes back up above here, right? That means now the 4 hour candle will end up respecting. By 1 a.m. you'll end up respecting this area once again, but now see, here's the difference. You've respected this area with the 4 hour bearish, but now, I'm sorry, with the 1 hour bearish, right here, the respect of this area was a bearish 1 hour, but now you're going to respect this area again with a bullish 1 hour closing up above it after grabbing orders here. So if that's what happens, now the 4 hour has closed bearish, but still respecting this area, and the 1 hour is closed bullish. Right here, you were bearish on the 4 hour, bearish on the 1. Now you have the 5, the 15, the 30, and the 1 hour all flipping bullish, because in order for the 1 hour to close bullish above here, it'll have to go through all of this and all the time frames. In order to come up here, will be bullish. 5, 15, 1, and then you're just looking at the 4 a.m., the 1 a.m. bottom wick, which is the next 4 hour candle, right? Now once that happens, you're looking for the next 4 hours to just come down, tap, or make a really steep bottom wick, depending where you bottom out in this current 4 hour, whenever it happens, and then that's your ride up. You see this fat juicy candle? It's because it goes to the gym. You guys should try it. But you want, as we come down here, eventually the 1 hour will pull up, right? It'll close above here, and as you close above here, the next candle bottom wick is what you want. Let it establish. Don't just take a blind buy, because you're really catching a falling knife. You don't know if it's going to bottom out here at 66, at 60, at 55, at 52. You don't know where it's going to bottom out. Let it give you an indication that it's bottomed out, right? You don't want to take a buy into a massive bearish move unless you start seeing the 5, the 15, the 30, the 1 all flowing into one bullish candle. And once you get those closures, most likely the next 4 hour after that will also be a bullish candle. Play your probabilities. And the 4 hour after that 4 hour should also be a bullish candle. It takes a while for the market to start reversing, but once it does, it's up to you to understand, to see your edge, and hop on. Yeah, that's a lot of talking. I've been talking my ass off for no reason. You guys are like, all right, Wick, shut the fuck up. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, I'm done here. I'm gonna go try to put my kids to bed while they're still up. It's 9:40. I'm typically never done at this time, but hey, W tonight. I'll be on with Don. Yes, I'll be on with Don tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Eastern, and we'll be on live on YouTube for the public session for everybody at 8 p.m. Eastern, same time, same place tomorrow, and for the rest of the week. All right, guys?
Okay, bro. Have a nice day, and thank you, bro, for today.
No worries.
Catch you guys at NY.
Yes, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night, everybody. Oh, we were almost at our song. I'll play it once. There you go. Oh, we never changed our record. I'm gonna change that right now.
This song for volume, this song.
Yeah. I'm gonna do it so they can see I'm changing the record. 59. Win number 59 on the year. Congratulations. All right, good night, everybody.
Nice, bro.